Hey guys, it's Jorge. The 2016 NFL Draft is completed. Mr. Irrelevant was picked. It's all done. Start the bidding wars on the undrafted free agents. And yeah, so I just wanted to get here into my thoughts and ideas about how the NFL Draft went. There was a lot of good and a lot of bad, a lot of weird, a lot of mistakes made. You could kind of see. Some teams did really well, some teams didn't do so good. So I'm going to kind of go through this time. I'm going to start at round 4 and work my way back. I decided I didn't like the idea of working my way from the back to the front. Let's start from the front and work our way back. In day 3, I'm going to start with notable picks. So to start the day, notable picks in round 4, the Raiders traded up and got Connor Cook in this as a second overall pick in the 4th round. Connor Cook, I read some reports as to why he fell. Most expected him to go late 1st or early 2nd. He fell all the way to the early 4th round. I'm hearing some reports that it might have been personality issues, that his coaches and teammates didn't like him. And while some people will argue that he's a winner and it doesn't matter if people like him, he's going to lead a team through his actions on the field, I argue it's a quarterback position. You need to be liked by your teammates. If they're going to go to war for you and try and protect you and give everything they got for you, they need to like you. They're not going to give everything they got for a guy they don't like. As another example of this, I feel kind of bad for Colin Kaepernick right now. If he does not get traded, he's going to be stuck in San Francisco on a team that knows he doesn't want to be there and a team that knows his coaches don't want him to be there. So it's going to be a tough situation for Colin Kaepernick. But anyway, I heard that's why Connor Cook fell so far. I don't know the specifics, but that's what I was hearing. Other notables, the 5th pick in the 4th round, the Jaguars selected Sheldon Day. While some of you might not even know who he is, when I watched Jalen Smith highlights or film on Jalen Smith, I noticed Sheldon Day almost as much as Jalen Smith. Sheldon Day made a lot of good plays for that Notre Dame defense. He was very disruptive. I thought he was a good pick there by the Jaguars, who had a great draft, by the way. They had a great draft, the best and most impactful draft, immediately impactful draft I may have ever seen. And they did a great job, and that's all I say about that. The Rams, in the 12th pick in the 4th round, they got Tyler Higbee. He's that tight end that has the assault charge on him. Interesting pick there in the 4th round to go after a guy that might not even be able to play. We'll have to see everything. The 18th pick in the 4th round, the Colts got Hassan Ridgeway, another defensive tackle. I thought the guy was a beast, so it was a good pick by them. 24th, the Bengals got Andrew Billings. 24th pick in the 4th round, Andrew Billings. What happened to this guy? He was supposed to go mid to late 1st round. He goes late 4th round. Oof, could be a steal of the draft right there. That could be crazy. The Bears, 26 went Deion Bush. Most people had him going 6th or 7th round. A lot of Miami's personalized mock drafts had him going to 6th or 7th round as a safety for Miami. He goes in the 4th round here to the Bears. Might have been a reach. We'll see. 27th, the Colts go Antonio Morrison. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on Antonio Morrison. I really like the dude. He has some health issues, but a lot of personalized mock drafts for the Dolphins had him going 5th or 6th round for the Dolphins. I was kind of sad to see him go a little bit early. I was hoping Miami might pick him up later, but he goes to the Colts here, 27 in the 4th round. 36th pick in the 4th round, the Ravens select Kenneth Dixon. I thought that was a great value pick. A lot of people had Kenneth Dixon as the 2nd or 3rd best running back on their boards, and he goes here in the late 4th round. Right after that, the Broncos at 38 go Devontae Booker. Again, some people had him as their 2nd or 3rd best running back, and he goes in the 4th round. It took over a whole round before another running back was drafted after Kenyon Drake. Miami did a good job getting Kenyon Drake. I applaud it. But again, if we didn't trade our 4th round draft pick before to move up and get Xavier Howard, we could have got Kenyon Drake in the 4th round. And then we could have used that 3rd round draft pick to go another corner or a linebacker or something like that. So That might have been a mistake there. The last pick in the fourth round I'll talk about is the 41st pick. The Bills, I believe they traded up. They got Cardale Jones. My buddy is a big Steelers fan, and he absolutely wanted Cardale Jones. He says he's the next Big Ben, so, or black version of Big Ben is what he called him. So anyway, that's the last pick there. I hope he doesn't pan out to be good now because he's on the Bills. The fifth round notables, I'll start from the top. The 11th pick in the Bears, they got Jordan Howard for the same reasons I like Devontae Booker and Kenneth Dixon. I like Jordan Howard. Some people had him as a third, fourth best running back, and he goes in the fifth round, so that could be a great pick. From Indiana, he had a solid career in Indiana. 12 in the fifth round, the Lions got Joe Dahl. I watched a little bit of film on Joe Dahl, and I liked what I saw from the guy. He's going to be a decent offensive lineman there for him. So I thought that was a good pick by the Lions, who continuously went offensive defensive line in this draft. 21, the Vikings. Remember, the Vikings, it's going to become a theme here, I feel. The Vikings went and got Kentrell Brothers. He's an inside linebacker. Some people had him all the way up into the third round. Others had him up to the sixth or seventh round. I thought because of his position in this linebacking class, I thought he'd go fourth or third or fourth round. And I thought Brothers is going to be a pretty good prospect. So I thought that was a valuable pick that they got there in the fifth round. 22, the Bengals. Again, that's another team I'm going to mention a lot, or have already mentioned. The Bengals got Christian Westerman. Some people had him in the second round. Second round, and he got all the way to the fifth round, late fifth round. The Bengals got him. That's a great value pick there for the Bengals. 32 in the fifth round, the Seahawks got Alex Collins for the exact same reason as the other guys. I felt as though all these other running backs were pretty close to each other, and they got them very, very late in the fifth round. So that was a good value pick there for Seattle, who also ended up getting C.J. Prosise earlier in the draft. Anyway, the sixth round notables. The fifth pick overall, the Vikings got Moritz Böhringer. That's that German wide receiver, freak athlete. I mentioned this one not necessarily because I thought it was a great value, but more so that it was the first German player to not go to college, and then he got drafted. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the dude has potential just based off his athleticism. He doesn't know how to play wide receiver yet, but you never know. So we'll see what happens with him. I'm rooting for the guy. The 11th pick, the Dolphins traded. We traded our other 6th round pick and a 7th round pick to move up here. We got Jakeem Grant. Good old Jakeem Grant, the little water bug. 5'6", 180, I believe he is, or 170. Oof, dude is small. He's a wide receiver. He played for Texas Tech. You watch film on this dude, he is freaking exciting to watch. He is tiny looking, but he is quick and quick and quick. You give him a bubble screen or a fly sweep or put him in on kick and punt returns, which I think is what Miami's doing here. I think we specifically got him to be a playmaker, where we throw in trick plays with him or only use him as a bubble screen kind of guy. But I think he's mostly going to be used as a punt or kick returner for us, which saves Jarvis Landry. And I'm happy with that because we need Jarvis Landry on offense. Anyway, then the 17th pick, the Bills go Colby Listenbee, wide receiver. I thought Listenbee was a better wide receiver than Jakeem Grant. I think the Bills got a little bit better value there. Although, again, our guy is probably only going to be a punt and kick returner. So I was more pissed off at the beginning when we drafted it, and I freaked out. Why are we going wide receivers? Why are we going wide receivers? And although I still am pissed off about it because we have other needs besides kick and punt returner. If we were kick and punt returner is not a big need. We have Jarvis Landry if we have to. We also got Kenyon Drake, and he can do it. So if Jakeem Grant, if we specifically drafted him to be a kick and punt returner, it wasn't necessarily a big need, and I'm not particularly happy about it, but he is exciting and he can bring big plays. The 29th pick in the draft, in the 6th round, the Dolphins got Jordan Lucas. He plays at Penn State. He was a 4-year player there. He played 3 years at corner and 1 year at safety. He's a team captain. Um, we're going to convert him back to a corner. He's lengthy, 6'2", 201, I believe. So he's going to be another one of those long corners that plays on the outside. So we'll see what happens there. We're definitely going after a specific type here in this draft. 30, the Cardinals, the very next pick got Harlan Miller. This is where I got kind of frustrated because though I'm okay with Jordan Lucas, I wanted Harlan Miller on my team. And it just showed us there that, because a lot of people had Harlan Miller way before Jordan Lucas on their big board, but it showed that we are going after a scheme-specific type of player. We got Jordan Lucas when Harlan Miller was on the board, so some 7th round notables, and there's quite a bit here because it felt like a lot of good players were in the 7th round. The Dolphins traded up, and we got Brandon Doughty. He's a quarterback. Not going to play, not really going to do much. He's going to be a 3rd string, maybe. We have 4 other quarterbacks on the roster, so I was not happy with this pick personally. I don't think we needed it, but he is a local guy, so I am happy that he made our team. The Dolphins, with the 10th pick, we got Thomas Duarte. He's a tight end. He played at UCLA. And this might seem odd, and again, I don't agree with this pick, but I can see why they went tight end here. And the reason is because next year we have most of our tight ends will be becoming free agents. So we might let one or two of them go for cap reasons or talent reasons, whatever it is. If we can throw Thomas Duarte, if we can develop him into something nice, he can fill one of those spots next year for way cheaper off of a 7th round rookie deal. The Eagles at 12 got Jalen Mills. I thought that was a great value pick. He was a 4th, 5th round prospect. Some people even had him in the 3rd or 4th round. The Raiders at 13 in the 7th round got Vidal Alexander. That's another guy a lot of people had in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round as a guard. He's very talented. The Eagles at 19 got Alex McAllister. This might not be a great pick, but the talent that Alex McAllister has is very high. If you watch Florida game film at all, I watched Jonathan Bullard a lot. He was super exciting, and I love Jonathan Bullard. But you'll notice, too, Alex McAllister is always in the background. He got so many sacks when he was on the field. The problem is he has very, very high character issues. So that could be one of those 7th round, just take a risk, extremely high risk, extremely high reward type of guys. The Vikings got Jaron Kearse, safety from Clemson. That was a great value pick. The Steelers got Tyler I don't even know how to say his last name, guys. Matakovich. He's a linebacker. And I watched some film on him. I thought he was better than 7th round, so I thought that was a good pick by the Steelers. Maybe their best value pick. The 29th pick, the Browns got Scooby Wright, and the only reason that this is significant is that I wanted Scooby Wright. His pro comparison is Zach Thomas. As a longtime Dolphins fan, Zach Thomas is one of my favorite players in the Dolphins uniform ever. Scooby Wright is slow, he's undersized, but he produces. And that's why he's a Zach Thomas comparison. So I wanted him really bad. Even if he didn't pan out, at least he was on Dolphins' team. 32, the Titans got Kalen Reed as Mr. Irrelevant. And that kind of summed up the last day there. I'm going to go into Dolphins specifics now, and how I overall feel about the Dolphins draft. So I'll kind of go through really quickly on all of our draft picks. The 1st round, Laremy Tunsil, left tackle, Ole Miss, with the 13th pick. The 2nd round, we got Xavier Howard, corner from Baylor. The 3rd round, we got Kenyon Drake, running back from Alabama. And we traded our 3rd and 4th round next year and the 6th round this year to get Leonte Carroo, wide receiver from Rutgers, in the 6th round because we traded our 5th round for 2 6th and a 7th to the Patriots. So we didn't have a 5th round either. The 6th round, we got Jakeem Grant, Texas Tech. I think we traded up. We did. We traded the 6th and the 7th round to trade up to get Jakeem Grant, wide receiver, Texas Tech. Also in the 6th round, we got Jordan Lucas, cornerback or safety. I think we're going to play him at corner. He played at Penn State. 7th round, we got Brandon Doherty, quarterback. He played from some tiny school I don't even know the name of, but he's local to Florida there. And we traded up to get him, I believe. We traded a 7th round pick there. And Jamar Taylor. I almost forgot about that. We traded Jamar Taylor, who was a 2nd round pick back in 2013. One of Miami's worst drafts in my lifetime. But in that year, we got Jamar Taylor, who's a corner, in the 2nd round. He ended up starting most of the games last year before we benched his ass, and then he didn't even play in the last 2 games of the year. So I'm happy he gets a fresh start because I don't want him on my team. Also in the 7th round, we got Thomas Duarte, tight end, UCLA. So I'll kind of give some grades. I'll run through really quickly and give grades on how I feel about these picks. Laremy Tunsil, A+. He could be the steal of the draft. He's so talented. He's going to give us a great offensive line to work around. Xavier Howard, I'll give it a B-. I did not like the value of the pick. I thought we could have got him probably 15 picks later. And we traded a 4th round to go up and get him. But he is scheme. He's going to be a starter, and he fits our scheme very well. So if you watched my video on the 1st round of the draft, I said we had to go corner in the 2nd round, and we did. So even though we gave up too much to go get him, and we drafted him too early, I give it a B- because we got a corner, and he's going to be our starter, and he fits our scheme. 3rd round, I'll give Kenyon Drake a B+. I thought this was too high to get him. Like I said, we probably could have got him in the 4th round, but he is the perfect fit for Adam Gase's system. I really like Kenyon Drake in our system. And he might go play punter, kick return as well. Also in the 3rd round, we traded up and got Leonte Carroo. I give that a C. We gave up 3rd and 4th round. I might even rate that a little bit lower, C-, because we gave up a 3rd and a 4th round next year. And I like Leonte Carroo, but we didn't need wide receivers right now. I understand that Kenny Stills is going to be a free agent, but if we're going to trade up in the 3rd round, we got to get something. We got to get a need, and wide receiver's not a need. 6th round, we got Jakeem Grant. I give that a D. And while I like Jakeem Grant, I do. We traded our 6th and the 7th round to go up and get another wide receiver or a punt and kick returner, and we don't need either of those positions. So it's a little why. The question is why. And I can't justify it, so I have to go with a D there. Jordan Lucas, I'll give it a B-. I do like that he's another tall, big corner. We are definitely going after that type. And we finally win defense again, so I give it a B- because I'm happy with it. I give it a B- instead of a B+ or an A- because we had Harlan Miller available to us, and we skipped on Harlan Miller, and I really liked Harlan Miller. In the 7th round, Brad Doherty, I give this guy a D or maybe even an F. We didn't need it. It's not going to help our team. It almost feels like we drafted him because he's a local guy and we like his attitude. Which, whatever. And we gave up Jamar Taylor, which could just be a salary dump too. And I don't care that we gave up Jamar Taylor, but we traded up again to get a position we did not need. Thomas Duarte, I give it a C+. I do like Duarte. I think he's going to be, in the future, he will be helpful. As of right now, he's not too helpful. I might even, again, if that's not going enough defense, I might even have to lower that down to a C- or a C. Overall, I'll talk about my overall grade for the Dolphins draft real quick. I kind of give it a C+. The reason I give it a C+ is we drafted way too much offense, especially at the wide receiver position, at the expense of our defense. Our defense was 25th ranked in the league last year, and we lost Brent Grimes. We just gave up our other starting corner for the majority of the year, Jamar Taylor. We lost our other starting linebacker. He went to the Giants, although I'm glad he left. And we replaced him with Byron Maxwell, who came off a crappy year. Kiko Alonso, we don't know anything about. He came off a crappy year. And our pass rush, we got rid of Olivier Vernon. And our backup DN, and we replaced him with Mario Williams and the Jaguars' Andre Branch. So I have high hopes for our defensive line, but it's older. It's I just don't know if it's going to be more productive. So our defense might even be worse than it was last year as of right now. And we went 6 out of 8 of the picks were on the offensive side of the ball. So I can't go higher than a C plus and feel comfortable. I love the Laramie Tunsil pick. I love the Kenyon Drake pick. I do like the Xavier Howard pick, but Kenyon Drake and Xavier Howard are a little bit higher than they should have been. I don't like the wide receiver picks. I don't like the quarterback pick. I'm not a fan of the tight end pick. Over going defense, that is. So I can't go higher than a C plus. Other notes I kind of wrote down as I went along and watched this and kind of thought about the Dolphins specifically. Like I said, 6 of our 8 draft picks were on offense. We only went defense twice. We traded away our 3rd and our 4th round picks next year, as well as Jamar Taylor. Those are 3 future assets on our team that we give away. And all 3 of those assets were given away to go get a position we didn't need. The 3rd and the 4th were to go get a wide receiver, and Jamar Taylor was to go get a quarterback. Another huge thing I realized is we drafted to fit our scheme perfectly. Like, that's what we went after, was schematically fit guys. We had better value available picks. We had guys there that were better talented players, but we went after guys that fit our system. That was on offense and defense. We went and got Kenyon Drake. Perfect fit. A lot of people did not have him as their 3rd-rated running back. But apparently we did, and he fits our system really well. So that's one example of how we went on offense and got our guy. On defense, we went Xavier Howard and we went Jordan Lucas. Those guys are both big corners, and both times I thought there was a better corner available at the position at that time. So we definitely went after schematically fit guys, which I think is a sign that we're going to keep this coaching staff around for at least a few years to give them a chance to develop these guys, and we're buying into their system. We're buying into what they want to do, which is a good thing. Coming in as a new head coach and a new defensive coordinator and all these new coaches, you don't want to come in and have the expectation that you have to run the same system as the last guys, or you have to play with the same team as the last coaching staff that was there. You kind of want to come in and build your own system and your own team and get the guys that you want on your roster. So I was kind of happy about that, at least. We went after Adam Gase and our defense, Vance Joseph's guys, and we got them. One thing our general manager, Chris Greer, and Mike Tannenbaum really focused on was the mentally tough, physically tough guys. They called them the alpha males. They said that about all the players. They're ultra competitive guys that want to win and want to be the guy. They bring competitiveness to practice. They want to fight through it. These guys, I kind of think of them as Jarvis Landry guys. Guys that will push their own teammates, fight their own teammates because they want to get better and they want their teammates to get better. And I do like our approach to that. I don't like how we use it as an excuse to make some dumb decisions at times, but I like the idea of going out and getting alpha males. Another thing I noticed is we are clearly looking for a different future at wide receiver. I do not think Kenny Stills is going to stick around. The fact that we went and got 2 new wide receivers, and I don't remember the name yet, but I'm pretty dang sure we got a wide receiver undrafted free agent too. Usually those guys are just bodies, but the fact that we've gotten 3 wide receivers added to our roster in the last 2 days, it shows that we were not content with our wide receiving core, which is crazy to me because we have Devontae Parker, Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills, Matt Hazel supposed to be coming up and being really good, but we go out and draft 2 more wide receivers and then pick up another one after the draft. I think Kenny Stills is gone next year, which is crazy to think about too because we give him a 3rd round for him. I also heard that Miami had all the intention in the world to get Myles Jack at 13 when he fell, but we went when Tunsil fell as well. We couldn't pass up on Tunsil, So if Tunzel had gotten picked before us, but Miles Jack was available at 13, Miami was going to get Miles Jack. I heard also that if Miles, we tried, really tried to trade up in the second to get Miles Jack there, but teams weren't gonna. They didn't trade us. They ended up trading Jacksonville, and Jacksonville got Miles Jack. Also about Tunzel, the Ravens were going to draft Tunzel before that video came out, so it's pretty much proven now. The Ravens came out and said that they were probably going to go Tunzel. That whoever ended up hacking Tunzel's thing and getting this video out there cost him $7 or $8 million. And there's some news about that as well. The Dolphins did some research and looking into it, an investigation, and they think it's an ex-financial advisor of Tunzel's, which is interesting to me too. So anyway, the Ravens were going to go there and before the video came out, and then they took him off their board completely. This is an interesting tidbit. This is an example of why you never trade with your division rivals, especially if one of them is Bill Belichick. We traded our fifth round to them. We got 2 6th rounds and a 7th round. When the Patriots came on the clock for that 5th round pick, Seattle traded them next year's 4th and this year's 7th. So they turned our 5th, or you could consider it their 2 6th and the 7th. They turned it into a 4th next year and a 7th because of us. Thank you, Patriots. We just helped you guys out and we made us look like fools. Ugh. Don't help Bill Belichick. He's smarter than you. Stupid ass. One thing coming out of this draft that has to happen, Xavier Howard needs to be a beast. He needs to step it up. He needs to have a great mini camp. He needs to have a great preseason. He has to be a starting caliber corner. You watch his tape, and I said a little bit before that I wasn't happy with his tape. That's because this dude gets burned deep often. He got lucky with some teams or wide receivers dropping him, but he gets burned deep often. He has very, very good tape where he is, he reads everything. He jumps up and makes tackles. He had 9 interceptions in college, I believe. So the talent is there. He's just very inconsistent, and he gives up too many deep plays. We have to have a safety over him at all times to feel safe. Otherwise, he's going to give up a bunch of touchdowns next year, especially to Tom Brady, because Tom Brady will pick this kid apart. So Xavier Howard has to be the real deal next year, or Jordan Lucas, but Xavier Howard has to be the dude next year, or our defense can be in serious freaking trouble. We took no linebackers in this draft. We also took no defensive linemen in this draft. We're already going out and trying to grab some undrafted free agents at linebacker position, and I think D linemen as well. But it's crazy to me that we didn't get any linebackers. We must seriously feel confident with Kiko Alonso, because the depth at the linebacker position right now is, we have depth players there. We have some guys that we've been developing, but they're not great. If our starting linebackers are not very good, you can imagine what our backups are like, right? So we are seriously dependent on Kiko Alonso being good right now. We didn't get any linebackers in the draft. Also, along with that, I said we didn't get any D linemen. We must be thinking we're going to address the defensive end position in the future. Not right now. We weren't worried about it right now. Cameron Wake is 34, coming off an Achilles injury. Mario Williams is 31, coming off a year where he gave up on this team and didn't look very, very good. So those guys are going to be out of the league in a few years, at least off our team in a year or two. So we didn't address the defensive line at all, which could be an issue. I thought we needed a defensive tackle too for depth, but we didn't go any D-line, so that could be a problem as well. We'll kind of see what happens there. But our 7th round draft picks, our quarterback and our tight end, they're not going to contribute on the field this year. A quarterback, obviously, we have Ryan Tannehill, who's very durable, and we have a great backup. Well, I think he's a great backup, and Matt Moore. I guess it's easy to be great when you don't touch the field, right? Tannehill hasn't missed a start in his career, so Matt Moore really hasn't had to do much. But yeah, so the quarterback, Dottie or whatever his name is not going to touch the field at all. He'll be a practice squad guy. If he even makes the team, we'll see. And Duarte, he's looking more like a future guy. Right now we have Jordan Cameron, who I think will do really good, navigates the system. We have Deion Sims, he's a good run blocker, and he has some high potential. He's made some good catches too, but we also have Jake Stoneburner, who usually comes in our 3 tight end sets, and he's caught a touchdown pass or 2 last year. So Duarte, you're probably not going to touch the field very much, dude. After next year, when we lose Deion Sims or Stoneburner or both, or Jordan Cameron leaves, Duarte might be touching the field then. But as of right now, he ain't gonna touch the field. So we use 2 7th-round picks on guys that aren't gonna really touch the field. They're kind of developmental guys looking for the future. So, yeah, I already talked about my overall grade being kind of like a C plus, a C for the Dolphins. To be honest with you, I was way more excited after day 1 than I am right now. I'm a little disappointed in my draft. I thought we started off great. When we drafted Kenyon Drake with the first pick in the 3rd round, we got Xavier Howard, and then we got Kenyon Drake. I was like, all right, we're doing the right things. I didn't like the value necessarily of Xavier Howard and Drake, but I was happy with the scheme fit and that we addressed our needs. After that, it all kind of went to shit.